Characterful reverb can be the key to mixing vocals. While it's easy to just add a bit of delay and generic reverb and call it done, there are a lot of reverb tricks to help you craft vocals that truly stand out. Hi, Julian David here with Liquid Sonics. Today we're going to mix vocals using the Tai Chi reverb plugin. Its vibey character and the more creative modules like the built-in dynamics and fidelity processors are ideal for creating vocal reverbs full of unique flavors. Let's get right into it. When mixing, our job is to harness our tools in a way that supports the song, enhances the performance, keeps the listener engaged, and evokes an emotional response in our audience. It is crucial to think about the contrast between the musical sections. This is of course true for the songwriting and arrangement, but it should also extend to the mixing stage. Reverb, unlike many effects, allows us to emphasize the emotion of the performance itself with the right preset selections and mixing techniques, whether it's on synths, guitars, vocals, or any other element. From moody or brooding with dark tight reverbs to happiness or even euphoria with bright, richly chorused glistening reverb, we can accentuate and enhance a performance in a way that most other effects just can't communicate. I'll play you the complete vocals in the mix before and after, and then I'll show you how I got there.
I've had enough of this charade. It's like there's no end to this race. Chasing shadows down the road, clinging on to what I know. But if you hold me, I'll let go. This illusion of control.
Now that we know where we're headed, let's break down the elements of our vocal processing. We'll tackle the intimate and thoughtful verses first, and the bright and energetic chorus with multiple reverb instances second. While the verse vocals are supposed to sound intimate, they still need space and width to shine in a radio-ready pop track. Tai Chi's comprehensive presets are always a great starting point, and in this case we have the hard knee Vox patch from the vintage category. Let's recall it from scratch and tweak it from there.
Comes to me now and then, suddenly catch a glimpse, find myself thinking it could all make sense. Had my life set in stone, oh but I didn't know I could lose a castle to a breath of wind.
To me, the lower mids seem a bit overwhelming, so let's hone in on what the reflections and the reverb components are doing.
Comes to me now and then, suddenly catch a glimpse, find myself thinking it could all make sense. Had my life set in stone, oh but I didn't know I could lose a castle to a breath of wind.
Generally, I could use the multiband multipliers or the contouring to lighten the reverb. But in this case, we actually have pretty thick sounding reflections, while the later verb is already fairly subtle and light. So right out the gate, I'm going to use the built-in EQ to shave off the low end overall.
Comes to me now and then, suddenly catch a glimpse, find myself thinking it could all make sense. Had my life set in stone, oh but I didn't know I could lose a castle to a breath of wind. Comes to me now and then, suddenly catch a glimpse, find myself thinking it could all make sense. Had my life set in stone, oh but I didn't know I could lose a castle to a breath of wind.
I love the subtle slap effect that the reflections are adding here, but Tai Chi's distinctive reverb chorus further adds to the width and character of the reverb. Even though it only affects the reverb and the reflections, it has some of the qualities of a vocal doubler. This is partly because we're using the thickened chorus in combination with the detune setting here.
Comes to me now and then, suddenly catch a glimpse, find myself thinking it could all make sense. Had my life set in stone, oh but I didn't know I could lose a castle to a breath of wind.
Let's listen to what we have in the track.
Comes to me now and then, suddenly catch a glimpse, find myself thinking it could all make sense. Had my life set in stone, oh but I didn't know I could lose a castle to a breath of wind.
Let's dive just a little bit deeper into this preset, because there's more going on here than just the chorus that makes it work so well. The built-in dynamics are set to reverb compression, but instead of clamping down on the entire wet mix, we can choose to compress only the later verb. This keeps our lovely slap reflections intact, yet tucks the reverb in nicely and keeps it under control despite a fairly long decay. Have a listen.
Comes to me now and then, suddenly catch a glimpse, find myself thinking it could all make sense. Had my life set in stone, oh, but I didn't know I could lose a castle to a breath of wind.
Tai Chi also allows you to duck the reverb rather than compressing it, which means that the dry signal drives the compressor sidechain. This reduces the reverb during the vocal phrases and allows it to flood back in during the breaks. It's a very cool sound that can work well for longer decay times in particular, but I like what we have for now. The other module that hugely impacts the flavor of our reverb is the Fidelity tab, which allows you to deliberately degrade the signal in several ways. In the preset, we not only have a brick wall filter limiting the input bandwidth, but we're also severely crushing the bit depth in multiple places. I'll focus on the reflections and turn the mix knob to 100% wet so you can correctly hear what this is doing.
Comes to me now and then, suddenly catch a glimpse, find myself thinking it could all make sense. Have my life set in stone, oh, but I didn't know I could lose a castle to a breath of wind. Comes to me now and then, suddenly catch a glimpse, find myself thinking it could all make sense. Have my life set in stone, oh, but I didn't know I could lose a castle to a breath of wind.
Let's get these settings perfect in the track.
Comes to me now and then, suddenly catch a glimpse, find myself thinking it could all make sense. Have my life set in stone, oh, but I didn't know I could lose a castle to a breath of wind. Comes to me now and then, suddenly catch a glimpse, find myself thinking it could all make sense. Have my life set in stone, oh, but I didn't know I could lose a castle to a breath of wind. Comes to me now and then, suddenly catch a glimpse, find myself thinking it could all make sense. Have my life set in stone, oh, but I didn't know I could lose a castle to a breath of wind.
As you can hear, you can use the fidelity controls to really rough up a sound, but used more subtly it adds a nice vintage character. The vocals work great for the verses now, but we need to go bigger for the chorus. This is where using multiple reverbs and dynamic automation comes in. Let's set up 2 more Tai Chi reverbs on Sense and look at that in more detail. I'll play you the dry vocals first, and then add the 2 reverbs in to show you what the effect is.
Chasing shadows down the road, clinging on to what I know. But if you hold me, I'll let go. This illusion of control. This illusion of control.
The first new reverb is a preset called Backing Vocal Stack from the Spaces category. It has a medium decay time and a short pre-delay to add depth and size to the vocals. The second additional reverb employs a preset called Reverse Lead Vocal Echo, designed by Barry Rudolph from the Signature preset bank. As the name suggests, it's perfect for bright and soaring lead vocals. The super wide spacing of the stadium reflection layout causes the echo effect you can hear. To create separation between the lead and the backing vocals, I'm driving the backing vocals into the first reverb quite a bit, which pushes them back in the mix. Both reverb instances use quite a bit of chorusing and bright reverb decay shaping using the multiband controls. As a result, you get that amazing glistening effect that works so well in this kind of music. We're also using a touch of reverb ducking on both instances via the Dynamics module. This, combined with the tailored reverb decay, lets you get away with pretty long decay times without overcrowding the mix. Using different reverb layers combined with automation gives you an incredible toolkit to build tension and excitement throughout the course of a song. Here, the verses are relatively dry, as we're primarily using our Tai Chi reverb insert we set up in the beginning. The reverb relationship not only changes dramatically in the chorus, but we also accentuate moments of the song with reverb send fader rides. Have a look at our automation lanes in Pro Tools as I play a longer selection of the track.
I've had enough of this charade. It's like there's no end to this race. Chasing shadows down the road, clinging on to what I know. But if you hold me, I'll let go. This illusion of control. This illusion of control.
Thanks to its signature reverb character and unique shaping tools, Tai Chi can help you take your vocal mixes to the next level. Now it's your turn to get hands-on and explore the plugin in more depth. Go to liquidsonics.com to download a free demo of Tai Chi and all of our other reverb plugins today. Subscribe to our email list and social channels to be among the first to know when we upload a new video and to learn more. Thanks for watching and see you next time.